Hey, Griffin McElroy.
Hail and well met, fair adventure.
Griffin, I want to journey with you to the frigid north. Will you come with me, please?
No, that sounds terrible. It's summer. I just got my beach body, right?
It's real chilly. It's real chilly, but I'm wearing all this armor. I got my friends here. They got furs on. This is Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward, the first full expansion pack for Final Fantasy XIV, which is taking place in the northern regions, the cold, icy northern regions of the world of Final Fantasy XIV. Griffin, I know you've played a little bit of FF14.
Yes, I got into it after you actually, we did that last video on the game, and I thought it looked dope, and it was dope. I don't have as much of a taste for MMOs, but it's been a while since I've played one, so maybe I'll get back into it. What's the pitch here? What do I got waiting for me?
So here's what I can tell you about Heavensward right away. If you have not played a lot of Final Fantasy XIV, there is nothing for you in this expansion.
Oh, well, shit. All right, well, bye, everyone.
Later. No, it's really cool. I like look at it. Oh, it's so pretty. I love the look of this expansion. I love everything they are doing with it. Maybe not everything, but most of the things they're doing with it. But it has some pretty crazy requirements to actually play it. As you know, most MMO expansions, if you want to go to the next zone, if you want to go to the new areas, you're going to have to be at level cap, right?
Right, sure.
With FF14, you don't just have to be at level cap. You have to have hit level cap, which is 50 in Final Fantasy XIV, or was 50, I guess, before this expansion came out. But you also need to have played through all of the story quests.
Okay.
And these story quests, they've continued adding via patches. So there are a lot of them. Like,
so if you played through the core game, hit the level cap, and stop playing, you have a long road to hoe if you haven't played any of the patches.
I would estimate at least 30 hours.
No way, dude.
There's a lot of story quests, and they're not just like blasting through like. There are some that are just like, oh, go here and see this person, and they'll progress the plot a little bit. But a lot of them are like, okay, now go fight this, summon. Go fight this primal, and this is like a big group fight, and it's gonna take a while, and you might need to have your item level up to a certain level, so you might need to get better armor.
Okay. Well, so were you ready for the DLC when this dropped?
I was, only because I spent the last 3 weeks before E3 grinding through the story stuff. Now, the saving grace for all this sounds kind of bad. The saving grace for all this is that the story is actually really awesome.
Yeah.
And
of the core game or of Heavensward?
The core game near the end, at least, and then leading into Heavensward, and then Heavensward itself gets even better. Right now, I'm running around. This is the first city, the sort of like main hub that you're going to be in Heavensward, which is called Foundation. It's the seat of the what they call the Holy See of Ishgard.
You're
which is
so little.
a church. Yeah, that's my little guy Yolo Yololo, running around.
So run me through some of the new classes. Sound kind of cool. I kind of want to. Here's what sucks is I kind of want to play a Machinist, which is one of the new classes they announced. But it'll be a very long time before I could do that.
Yeah. So to hit the new classes, you have to go to this new area, Foundation. This is where you're going to gain access to those new classes. There's the Machinist, which is the new damage dealing class. It's primarily uses guns and can summon turrets and stuff. There's the Astrologian, which is the new healing class. It's a really cool one. They have their main weapon is a globe that has cards rotating around it, like tarot cards.
Okay.
And there's some sort of random effect type stuff where they're drawing cards from decks in order to do buffs and heals.
That's kind of cool.
It's a really interesting class. And then the Dark Knight is the new tanking class.
I'm guessing that's the one you went with.
I have not touched any of the new classes yet. So the interesting thing is you have to get up to level 50 and get to this new area to play the new classes, but then they don't start at level 1, which is nice, but they do start at level 30.
Okay.
So you do still have to do some grinding up.
So you get them in the new area, but then you have to leave the new area, I'm guessing, to even stand a chance of survival?
Most people are grinding through dungeons and stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
That's kind of the easiest way to get experience points pretty quickly. So you can stay in the new area, but you're just kind of queuing up and going into dungeons. This is one of the new zones, the Sea of Clouds. Probably the most visually interesting of the new zones thus far, because it is actually, and they've showed this kind of some of the videos leading up to the game, but it's actually like these sort of discrete floating islands just in the sky. One of the big additions to Heavensward is that they are adding flying mounts, as you do in an MMO at some point.
Sure.
But what they've done that's kind of interesting, and you're not going to see me using any flying mounts in this video, that's because, as with everything in Final Fantasy XIV, as is kind of becoming a theme here in this video, you have to work for them. You don't just unlock the flying mounts. You have to, basically each zone, you need to discover certain, like, I think they're called Aether points. You have to explore the zone, discover these points, and then also usually hit some other sort of bonus objectives that before you're going to be allowed to just fly around.
Interesting. So that's like a way of making sure that you explore the space on your feet before you can fly around?
Yeah, and it kind of forces you to go through fighting enemies, maybe gaining some experience regularly before you're just like, all right, I'm just going to zoom past everything and go right to whatever my quest destination
I appreciate that. Like,
Look at this nice new armor I got. Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I feel like once I got my flying mounts in, God, what was it? Cataclysm? World of Warcraft Cataclysm? I just never fought anything ever again. I never touched the ground ever again.
The Burning Crusade, that was the original. Yes. But yeah, so it's interesting. They're putting in a lot of stuff, like I said, where I like what they're doing, but they are also making it, it's not necessarily the most readily accessible.
Yeah, that's perplexing to me. Like, usually with an expansion pack, you get some stuff for the high-end players, but then you get some content.
Should we go down?
Especially,
Should we go down?
Yeah, please do. Let's see how that works out.
You think we should just hop on down here?
I believe in you.
I don't see another way down, so
This'll work.
we good.
Wow, one hit point left. How fortuitous.
The other thing, obviously, for currently existing classes, of which there are a lot in the game, you know, there were a lot at launch, and then more have been added. There's something like a dozen already, or something.
Yeah.
There are going to be there are new skills that you get every couple of levels. They've done a lot of really interesting things, such as I'm playing as a warrior, which is a tanking class. I've been told, and I'm not, you know, I'm up to like level, at this, in the video I'm level 50, I think in the game I'm up to 52 now, but I've been told like around level 54, 56, warriors actually get a skill that, a new skill set that basically allows them to be damage dealers if they want.
Oh, that's cool.
So they're kind of like, they're doing a lot of interesting stuff, increasing the utility of classes and giving you more options.
Yeah, I guess I'm just kind of bummed because I've been waiting for this because I wanted a reason to get back into the game, but it sounds like I can't even, like, I don't know. There's not much for me until I go beat the rest of it.
Yeah, there's not much in Heavensward itself. That said, I think it's a good time to get back into Final Fantasy XIV just because a lot of people are getting back in, and it's still a really rad game. It's very, very good. And I think that story stuff, like, it's tough because a lot of the story in this moves very slowly, and it's hard to see whether or not it's going to be good. But having played through it, I can be like, no, it pays off, and it gets really awesome. So I recommend it. And eventually you're going to get to beautiful damn zones like this. Look at how pretty this is.
in like September.
Yeah, like you know, 140 hours from now.
Yeah, sure. I get it. I don't begrudge the game.
You can see kind of how big the map was there. Like the zones in this expansion are massive. It seems like there's a lot of cool stuff here. I'm gonna have to spend a lot more time on it, but I do have a review coming up, and I am liking what I'm playing so far.